Hello. Welcome. Hello, who's here? Yes, we're together. Thank you for joining. Who's here first? Daryl's here. Hello, Daryl. Negron Musk. That sounds pretty funny, right? I know you enjoyed the thumbnail. I couldn't help it, okay? Like they say, we're living in such absurd days. The jokes just write themselves, right? You don't have to put much thought into a joke. Hey, Biz Wolfer. Hello. Thank you for joining. Happy week to you. Jamie's here. Hello, Jamie. Dana. Nice to see you, Dana. Ann Bailey. Oh, Joseph is here. Hello, Joseph. I love that stuff you shared. Oh boy. The people in Ireland are rising up and they are fighting to keep free speech. Joseph has a lot of good fellow countrymen fighting the good fight. Christine, hello. Witten, nice to see you. Hello there, T. Witten. Who else? Kathy's here from Arizona. Wow, Kathy's here. Molly Moose is here. Hey, Molly. Welcome. Jack Knife is here. Hello. I think that says IE. I'm not sure. Edna. Hey, Edna. Hello. Edna Lang. Lisa. Hola. Thank you for joining. Oh, this is nice to see you all. I wanted to continue kind of where we left off. We were in real time listening to a Twitter Spaces that would under the, I guess you would say, headline of Twitter files, the Twitter files, which we don't know what this will all amount to. I am in observation mode, as I've said. I was talking to, like I told you all, the first Twitter file we did. I was talking to Girl Code about it, and we were observing. So it's interesting right now what is happening in the Twitter verse. Okay, so let's see. I'll be pulling up some articles on some different devices, okay? Wizards Speak. Hello from Las Vegas. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope it's going well over in Las Vegas. So, when we last got together, the first, wasn't it the first drops were no, the second, it was supposed to be the second drop. But what happened was, impromptu, Elon Musk jumped on a Twitter Spaces gathering. So it was more of an interactive listening experience where Elon was a guest and whoever was co-hosting and hosting this Twitter space, they just started talking and asking questions and letting Elon just have the floor. So it was interesting. I had a chance to think about a few of the things and also follow some of the post tweets after that. Hey, Tina, welcome. Glad you could hang out today. Yes, not really a planned live, but wanted to keep this conversation fresh, okay? Hey, Jim and I love it. Welcome. Hello, I'm glad you could join. Yeah, so the issue of free speech is going to be an ongoing conversation. What I want to talk about is kind of a little tinfoily, and it deals with something that Elon posted. Okay, so a lot of you may not have normal sleeping hours. And if you are back on Twitter, Twitter is just it's lit at all times of the hour. So you could wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning where you should be praying, right? When you wake up at 3, you should be praying, okay, not getting on the Twitters. So maybe you open the Twitter and guess what? Elon Musk just tweeted. And you're like, what? So Elon is tweeting all around the clock. And it's an interesting thing. You know that Ye is no longer on Twitter. This is just to bring you up to date. Ye was on Twitter, and it was just a roller coaster ride if you're following it. So Ye posted something. You probably already know about this, even if you're not on Twitter. They're covering it in other spaces, but he did. It was like a Star of David with a Nazi swastika kind of thing. So he just posted that one day, one night, and then he was blown off of Twitter. So Kanye has resurfaced, everybody. If you are on Instagool, as Paul Romano calls it, well, Kanye posted something on Instagool. I believe it was yesterday, right? Was it last night? Tell me who's following all the craziness. You can't leave me just to be following all this. Come on, somebody. Girl code, you're here. Welcome. Abnormal sleeper checking in. That's right. It's like it was before, right? In 2020, we were not sleeping normal sleeping cycles. I was working night shift in 2020 anyway. So whenever I do night shifts, I don't sleep normal, whatever that is. But it's still kind of the same. You know, if you have a baby around, okay, you know that you're not really worried about time and sleeping normal hours. What are those? Right? So, yeah, we're all doing a little bit of waking up at odd hours. Christine, good day, friends. Hey there. So, Gemini love, you are doing that too? You're waking up at different hours. Okay. Yes, well, we tend to be doing similar things during this period, right? We're having similar experiences. What are you saying, Tina? I'm not on Twitter, but Elon is interesting. Not sure about him. I know. Who was on the other day when we were listening on the Twitter spaces? I'm trying to think of who it was in the chatmosphere that they were all out saying that, you know, Elon is bad news. She doesn't trust him. And I was trying to keep up with that. A lot of us are not sure about Elon. Some people may be, if you're a real big Elon person, let us know. Do you totally love him, trust him, and believe that he is doing the best for we the people? Let us know. Do you really like this guy? And have you vetted him? Like your discernment is telling you that he is A-okay. Let me know. Let me know. Let's see. Always interesting to see what you're saying. Technically, Yi is right. The Zionists are the Nazis. That's what is meant by National Zionist. Oh, you're probably having, oh, were you, maybe, I jump in when you all are talking to each other. But okay, so that's the thing that's interesting about right now. You have people that are running the gamut when it comes to what they want to talk about when it comes to issues of Zionism, Nazis, Israel, Christianity, Judaism, the Israelites, the Hebrews. I mean, we've got so much on the plate of just discussion. And even Hitler is now entering the chats, okay? And we've even talked about Hitler when we do our historical stuff, just like the History Channel deals with Hitler. I never understood the obsession with Hitler. You know what I'm saying? I grew up and I told you all a Jewish stepmother, and I would notice, like, I'm around the tribe, I grew up around the tribe, but it was always jokes about Hitler, lots of references, and then movies. Like, we would go and see like a comedy, and it's like what are those comedians, like, oh boy, they did Blazing Saddle. Oh, Blazing Saddles. Who am I talking about? Funny guy. But everything was like references in the movie to Hitler to make him like a comedy type of thing. I never understood it as a child, because on one hand, I'm hearing all the atrocities that happened at the hand and the mastermind of Hitler, but then I'm hearing jokes being made about him. And as a child, let's see, I know somebody, Mel Brooks, thank you, Mel Brooks. So you know what I'm talking about. Oh, Darkitect is here. Yes. Oh, you all know. So do you see what I'm saying? You don't have to have a background like mine where you had a Jewish stepmother growing up. From watching entertainment and movies, even if you look at Charlie Chaplin, right? Didn't he do something called The Little Dictator? And so you had him with the mustache, and then wasn't there something recently that was like a throwback to Charlie Chaplin? Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, and if you grew up watching Saturday Night Live, with that crowd, Gilda, remember Gilda and everybody, the best crowd that they had? It was always something like jokes and skits about Hitler. And then the History Channel, you know how they joke and say, oh, the History Channel is like Hitler 24/7, because that's all you see is like movies about Hitler, historical documentaries about him. So for somebody like him to be such a terrible, like when anybody is compared to evil, it's always like Hitler is the tip top, of evil in a person. And so being compared to him, that's like, whoa, what a scale. But he's in the extreme. And everybody agrees, pretty much. Everybody agrees, right? I don't know anymore, because now you're having conversations and you're able to hear them or see them now, where some people have a different opinion about Hitler. So we're living in a day where people are talking about things that are very bold. That's a very bold thing to say, that you might not feel a certain way about Hitler. And all of us that have grown and were conditioned to watch a lot of content regarding Hitler, we have like a sort of knee-jerk reaction when we hear his or see him It's terrifying to see, and just to hear him, screaming and having those whatever, well, they call them rallies, right? And the Hitler Youth and all of this stuff. It's terrifying to think, and it's not so much that you're scared that it could happen again, but you're just like, you've been conditioned and programmed to look at that time period, and it's not being so long ago. It's horrible. And it's a lot to also take in to account that we've had also another Holocaust that is a silent Holocaust. One day I will get into that a little bit more. But yes, very recent as well, and very hard to process. For some of us, it's very new that we're coming into the knowledge of the more silent Holocaust that has happened on our ground, our soil here. The other Holocaust having happened in Germany, but there's an American Holocaust. So yeah, more of that is now being discussed. So let's see. Girl Code, what are you saying about Elon? I know I didn't expect to start talking about the H guy. Let's see. His, what is that? Showers are knocking down a lot of god awful satellites that have been in orbit for nearly 200 years. I think Elon is gone already, and I believe his image is being used. Okay, now that's interesting. Girl Code, hold that thought. Okay, let me get into the Elon stuff, because there may be some drops. I want to see, has anybody noticed if the drops happened? They were supposed to resume at noon, right? Has anybody Yeah, and I want to talk about that too. Elon, the recent Baphomet outfit, the half goat, half man statue of him, his rockets, his AI agenda, buying Twitter, calling free speech doesn't cut it with you. So Joseph is not feeling Elon, okay? So all of the free speech stuff is not going to uh, dismiss some real concerns. And I know the person who also, last chat that we had, I believe she said allegedly that he is the Antichrist, right? So many people feel that he may be the Antichrist. That guy that everybody has speculated who is the Antichrist. Alan Crooks is here. Hey there, welcome. I used to be. I told you I was into the church. I was real churchy. And I was really always into the end times, okay? I've told you this already. I listened to Jack Vanapee and Rexella. Remember them out of Detroit? Shout out Detroit. They used to scare the daylights out of you when you're watching their show, right? And they were doing a nice wow, their show, when you think about it, high quality, okay? I mean, really good production quality. And Rexella would have the big hair, and Jack with that nice, John F. Kennedy haircut with the Grecian formula, real nice and put together. And they would just boom, fire off all that, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and then you're like, oh my goodness, it could happen like before the show is over, right? Didn't they make you feel like the rapture was about to happen at any minute? Sean is here, and Shauna, hey Shauna, I feel like saying that like my Philly roots, Shauna and Sean, right? What's up, Sean? How you doing? Yeah, so okay, where are we? Let me see what the chatmosphere is saying, because let's just hang out a minute, okay? And let's figure this out, okay? Because stuff is happening a lot now. It looks like, okay, we were coasting along, right? We were kind of coasting, but it looks like somebody put their foot on the gas pedal recently, right? Kind of. Darkitect is saying there is a group of controllers they call the name sealers. They assumed the role as Jews, but they are not. They are an archon like race who doesn't appear to be the same as most of us. That is interesting, Darkitect. Now, I used to listen to stuff, all the Archon talk, you know. I haven't been plugged in with that lately. I've admitted to you all that I used to listen to Bobby Hemmett. Okay, yes, I was a Bobby Hemmett, and also, what is the other guy, the younger Bobby Hemmett that kind of took over? Why am I forgetting his name? Oh my goodness, but I was caught up in that. Okay, I'm no longer, you know, I'm not plugged in anymore. But it is very interesting. What are you saying, Tina? Let's see. I don't know. Our history has been a lie. Maybe Hitler wasn't what we were told. I'm open to the truth. And that's interesting that you would say that. See, this is what I like in about where we are right now. Tina can feel open to, you know, to state that she's open to the fact that we've been told a lot of things that are not true. And the fact that she's open to, hey, what if we don't know everything? Wouldn't want to know? And we want to know, a lot of us. We don't mind how shocking the truth will be. It's very uncomfortable, surely. We have grown accustomed to being uncomfortable. So that is the price of free speech. Like, the price of free speech is that we've lost a lot. A lot of us have lost friends, we've lost jobs, we've lost a lot when it comes to free speech. And it's an ongoing process of even talking about the things that were sacred cows. We're realizing that there are no sacred cows. Nobody is above the law. We want to see the road made even playing field, where everybody can get that smoke. Every group, if you're acting a certain way, then how about we just come to the table? You all know I've been telling you that all we need is some good food. I don't know about some of y'all though. Just come as you are. You come, don't worry about bringing a okay, just enjoy the food. You don't always have to, everybody doesn't have to bring a meal. But we can break bread and we can talk about some things. You know how I envision us sitting on a porch? A lot of us just talking it out and doing it often. And also, most of us, like Girl Code has been sharing in her content, you need to check out. A lot of us, we will not be governed the way we are governed now. This is a process of growing up as a human being. And when we realize the governing of our meant, we don't need it, because the fifth wall has come down on this life is a stage thing. We're now at that point where the externalization of the method is what we're looking at, where truth is just unmasked for those who like truth, because it's like eating food. Truth is very seasoned. It's a very spicy type of seasoning. Would you agree? And truth is something that is knowable to people, not all people. And you have to grow accustomed to taking truth in. So that's the thing. When you start to take in more truth and start to discern, we know that we have a lot of misdirection out here. And that's part of being more mature. As we are maturing and being able to look at truth on a platter and know that, okay, this might be misdirection. And this might be for the purpose so that I won't look over here. But I'm going to look here at the misdirection, and I'm going to realize that it is misdirection. But I'm going to go over here and look here, or take some time to take in more information. That's how a lot of us are beginning to process information in this information age. So, yeah, I think that even though the times are very crazy and distracting, they're very distracting. We are learning how to still maneuver through all of the noise and learn how to tune out, to curate what you are going to take in also, because you have the ability to curate what you take in, which is amazing. And it's so much out there to choose from. We are very blessed in that way. We can complain about the censorship and all of that stuff. It's to be expected because they stand to lose so much, and we know who they are. They are whatever the group that is fighting to maintain the status quo, which is lies. Whoever wants to continue the lies, they're on shaky ground. Let's continue with the Bible references. It's like building your house on sand, or what are you going to do? On a rock. So they've built their house on sand, and as much as we get together in these spaces and talk, and right now with the way that Twitter is set up, that you are able to say a lot without the shadow banning and whatever else, the outright deplatforming. So we're getting to see a different side of Twitter. It's very, very interesting. I'm just enjoying it as an observer. Yes, Alan, I was very churchy. Yes, I was churchy. How about you all? Were you churchy? I was very churchy when I mean growing up with the Baptist mother, then the Jewish stepmother, then the Catholic father, and then I did a little Messianic Judaism. But then I got into the non-denominational, Calvary Chapel. Does anybody know about Calvary Chapel, the movement? I was a big part of the Calvary Chapel movement. Yes, so Anne says, I heard Prince William is the Antichrist. Yeah, everything was, who is the Antichrist? They say pin the tail on the Antichrist. Everybody was the Antichrist. When I was watching Rexella and Jack Vanapee, they always had a thing about, what was it, John, what is it, from Spain? Juan, was somebody Juan something of the King of Spain. They thought he was the Antichrist for a minute. Of course, they thought Bush was the Antichrist. Both Bushes, I think. Yeah, all of that stuff, right? Pin the tail on the, TBN. We were watching TBN big time, right? There you go. I was right there too, Gemini love. Right there, TBN, everybody with the big hair, right? Jan and Paul Crouch, right? I was there, coast to coast. That's right. When I worked in Los Angeles and Pasadena, night shift, coast to coast got me through all my night shifts. Yes, indeed. Obama. Some of you pinned the tail on Obama. Who else? Oh yeah, Delbert Blair. Yep, I was always into Delbert, Bobby Hemmett. So that's right. We were doing the Bobby Hemmett. Let's see, Dharma, I haven't seen you in a minute. Yee's post about Elon and Obama. I'm going to get into that, okay? We're going to get into some of this Yee. It's, you know what, Paul Romano, one thing I want to say, okay? And we talked about Hitler a little bit, right? So the fact that we can start talking about Hitler without being like silenced, just to say the name, it's like, let's make it where it's not so, what is the word? So triggering. We all have this trauma that we have been through. All of us have. And some things are triggering. So if we begin to put it out in the open, that it's not as triggering. So being able to talk freely without all the emotionalism and politicized, whatever, left, right, all that stuff. It's good, I believe, and it's healthy for those that can handle it. Not everybody can handle it. But this Elon and Yee stuff, and it's truly interesting. And I want to get your take on it. You know, like I told somebody, I am cautiously observing. I'm not, sold on anybody. I've told you all that when it comes to Yee, I feel like I don't know. And it's been that way for a while, probably since he did the George Bush doesn't like black people after Hurricane Katrina. When Yee did that on a live broadcast, I was like, what's he doing? What just happened? What just happened, right? And you got the guy who was a funny guy, which made it weird. You have the guy from Saturday Night Live, Wayne's World, right? Wayne's World's up there. Oh yeah, and he played, what's the guy that was up there? Dana, no, it wasn't Dana Harvey. Who was up there on the stage with Yee when he was Kanye West, when he said George Bush doesn't like black people? Who was that? Let's see. Who? Come on. You have to help me out. Oh, who was it? Anybody? Hey, Belinda's here. Wait, I'll get to you all. I'm looking for the name of the actor, the comedian. Abe is here? Whoa. Come back and look. Who was it? Oh, wow. I'm going through the chatmosphere. I've missed a lot of things. You'll have to forgive me. I am Mike Myers. Dana Carvey? Wait, somebody said Biz Wolfer said Mike Myers. It was Dana Carvey. They're saying Dana Carvey. Gemini Love is saying Mike Myers. So Mike Myers, he also played Groovy, that guy, right? So, okay, some are saying Dana Carvey, some are saying Mike Myers. It's like funny. Is this a Mandela thing? I don't know. But whoever it was, Biz Wolfer is insisting it was Mike Myers. But it was weird, is what I want to say. Reality began to start to really get twisty right around then. I didn't know that it was going to get twisty. Yeah, Austin Powers. But okay, so you have a funny guy on the stage with Kanye West, that's who he was then. And they were doing the fundraiser for the Hurricane Katrina. And Kanye just blurted out that he looked in the camera and said, George Bush doesn't like black people. And you're like, whoa, I know that, but you're not supposed to say that, Kanye. Not in mixed company, okay? That's kitchen table talk, Kanye. We don't go on live television and say these things, right? So he started to break the fifth wall right there. We should have known it, okay? And you all know what I'm talking about, kitchen table talk, okay? And some people, I was talking to Girl Code about this, okay? Now I'm going to share some kitchen table talk with you right now. And a lot of people won't like this, okay? But I believe it's my theory, allegedly, that President Trump has been invited to the cookout. When you know what I mean, when it means you're invited to the cookout, it means that you hang out with Negroes and you hang out with them where you're invited to the cookout, not just the cookout, but you're invited to come into the kitchen and listen to the kitchen table talk, okay? Not everybody is privy to kitchen table talk, but I believe that President Trump has been privy to kitchen table talk, okay? And this is because he grew up in Queens, right? A lot of people knew him and he went to nightclubs with, black people. He hung out, right? And come on now, okay? I'm just saying, when a person has that kind of access and you don't have to mince your words around them, they are privy to the kitchen table talk. And you all have your own kitchen table talk. Every group does. So let's not see, that's what I don't want to do. Let's stop all the BS, and we're going to be real with each other, okay? I've been privy to some of your kitchen table talks, okay? I've been kind of mixing and grooving and moving among the people, okay? I've traveled all over this flat earth. Yes, I said it. I said flat earth, okay? And I've been privy to some kitchen table talk. So it's just one of those things that some people have that kind of appreciation and they know different groups and tribes. They've been privy and invited into the inner sanctums. And it's just some people are able to do that. It's my opinion that President Trump has been invited into the kitchen to talk and to listen, to observe. So I'm just saying, okay? But without further ado, and I'll let you know when I think certain people have been in the kitchen. They understand the idiosyncrasies, right? So yeah, let's see. What are we doing when it comes to this Elon Musk, okay? Well, I like to say Elon he's African American. Is he not? Who wants to debate that point? He's African American. And I like to remind people of it. You could call me a troll, but it goes according to their dumb rules of how they've come up with all these different stupid things to, classify people. So Elon, okay, let me just go to Twitter's. Okay, so Twitter's right now, this is the drop that I'm going to talk about Ye, and I'm going to talk about Elon, and I want you all to share your thoughts. Hey Juan, how you doing? I think I missed the cold hard truth. I missed a lot of people. If I missed, please forgive me, because I had to refresh the chatmosphere because it wasn't wow, it's a lot of people and a lot of I'm going to go back and check everybody. Texas girl is here, golden Texas girl. I will come and see who's here. Just allow me some time to refresh the chatmosphere and see who's here. Okay, so oh my goodness. Okay, let me refresh. It looks like Elon he said 2 hours ago, so many interesting posts on Twitter these days. Okay, so this is what happened yesterday or last night, this morning. Okay, 13 hours ago, you do the math, but Elon posted this picture, and he says, Starship takes beings of Earth to Mars. Okay. And he posted that this is the space ark dated 1968 by Japanese artist Shigeru Kamasuzaki. If I didn't say it right, bear with me. Sugero was born 1915 and died 2001. So this picture, let me make it bigger. Okay, so you saw that, Gemini? Yeah, so he was, tweeting, and this is what is going on, okay? Let me get past, and we're going to talk about Neuralink, the chips in the head kind of stuff. Okay, so this is the picture. So tell me, I'm not laughing, but I am. I'm going to tell you why I'm kind of giggling, because I look at the comments. I love looking at the comments. Okay, so he's going to post this and say, Starship takes beings of Earth to Mars. And as you can see here, it says Ark of Space. So animals are entering this ark 2 by 2, as we have learned in the account of Noah and the ark from Genesis. So you see the large animals are all going in. It looks like the ones at the end here are the lion. So you have the elephants, and as you can see. Okay, now if you go to looking at the people, let me get myself off of there. Okay, so you see people in the corners here, right? I didn't pick up on this, but you see armed men, right? And they are keeping the people out. So the people look like it looks like the flood is happening, the desperation. They're reaching out in desperation to try to get on this ark. But the guys are saying no with those pow-pows. They're like, nope, not for you. So what are you thinking? Because somebody tried to make this about race. They were like, oh, they're not letting the black people on. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. But then somebody said, have you noticed it's not just black people in the crowd? I don't know, but I haven't blown it up to look at that kind of thing. But it's Twitter, so you're going to have people they are recognizing what they are recognizing or whatever. So, but it is interesting, right? Nonetheless. So what do you all think of that? Who caught that when Elon posted this at around 2 in the morning or so? What did you think? Anybody? Let's see in the chatmosphere. What are you thinking? Because I don't know what to think. I thought it was odd. Now, some of the okay, let's see. So it was 2:48 a.m. that he posted this. And what did the people say? Some of the comments. Alan said, I thought predictive programming. Okay. Oh, Big Pontiac. Hey, welcome, Big Pontiac. Greetings, powerful people. I love it. Thanks for stopping by. Love when you come by to see us. So, okay. I'm still trying to get to the comments part because I love the comments. The comments are saying, somebody said Nikola Tesla predicted about future cell phone. History is the future. And somebody posted a picture of Elon on Mars. I don't know what I think about Mars and all that stuff. We went through the book of Enoch, right? And the book of Enoch gave me a different perspective on the planets and what they are there for. Yeah, Ark. Joseph says Ark, Mars, complete fantasy nonsense. Yeah, Juan. Hey, Juan. A metaphor for cleaning house. Okay. Oh boy, what are you saying, Girl Code? Girl Code is saying it's so much to take in. It's a truly amazing show of the future. Because I really want to know what you are picking up, Girl Code, from this. Let's see, Sunny Day, how you doing? You said not all could get on the ark back in Noah's day, just family. Right, right. So possibly the family, whoever's going to Mars on this ark, they're already on the ship here. So people are tweeting pictures of Mars being colonized, and somebody is asking, when will production on the HLS for NASA start ramping up? The Artemis SLS rockets are going along really well. Would love to know how the lander fares. And then someone says, bright future ahead, so wholesome, so inclusive. Okay. Somebody said that ark was not headed solely to Mars, my friend. You all know about the Thunderbird? Oh, now this is interesting. 2 hours ago, someone says apartheid from 1948 to 1994 in South Africa, which, if anybody doesn't know, that's where Elon Musk is from, South Africa. So it was the racial segregation under the all-white government of South Africa, which dictated that non-white South Africans, majority of the population, were required to live in separate areas from whites and use separate public facilities. So in South Africa, during the apartheid years, South Africa went through similar, like the Jim Crow segregation that we had here in America. South Africa is very similar to America in terms of the Western culture, things like that. It would be interesting to do a comparison of South Africa and America. Somebody has a picture of Elon saying, please, one Big Mac. So, whatever this is, oh, Jason Hand, welcome, Jason. Mars is New Zealand. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, Kevin Dodge. Kevin, how are you, Kev? LOL, why colonize Mars when we can colonize the rest of Canada, for example? Well, there you are, baby. This is all what? And interestingly enough, I'll show you later where Elon is talking about Antarctica, right? So I am wondering about what this all means, okay? What's going on here? So let me look and see if they have any Twitter files, because at noon, Twitter was supposed to do the Twitter files, and let's see what's trending. Brazil is trending. And I'm thinking Brazil shouldn't be trending just for sports, but it should be trending because of what happened where someone asked Elon about the election in Brazil. We talked about that the other day, where the president was unseated through voter suppress. Something happened with their elections over in Brazil, and I'm just going to say it, okay? I don't care. Something funny happened with their election. And the similarities to Trump are just uncanny when it comes to what's going on in Brazil. So Elon Musk answered the person and said that they did find some Twitter interference with that old group, like remember Vijaya Gadde and that crew that he fired when he first took over Twitter. So Vijaya, she was just, whoa, her name came up a lot, if you know who I'm talking about. She was responsible for getting Trump, I believe, deplatformed. Also, Kayleigh McEnany, who was the press secretary, she was like locked out of her Twitter because Vijaya and her group were saying that Kayleigh had to either take a tweet down or modify a tweet, and they gave her some time frame that she had to do it within. And you know, they were just like acting like the Gestapo. So this is really telling. But when I go to Twitter and hit Brazil, of course it's going to have sports. But what it really should have is what happened in their election to what they call tropical Trump, Jair Bolsonaro. So he was robbed, okay? But also another thing is Pele, the soccer player Pele, is, I believe, currently in palliative care. So he has cancer, I believe, and that is something that's trending. But in terms of the election, I don't see anything but sports. So that's interesting. So let me see what else. You would think also that the Twitter files would be trending. But what I'll do is I'll just type it in. You would think I wouldn't have to do that. Or Matt Taibbi, who is the author, journalist, who is dropping the Twitter files. Okay, so his latest tweet was 19 hours ago. So I don't know what's going on with Matt Taibbi. He's not tweeting very much. But there is a story in Substack that he has. I wanted to share that. So let me see. What are you all thinking about this arc? And also, what's up with Neuralink? Because I know that a lot of people are freaked out about Elon Musk with the chips in the brain kind of thing. Some people would like to get that. They would sign right up for getting chipped. And it's pretty interesting that we are now at that place where you have Elon Musk dressed up with the Baphomet in his Twitter profile picture, and then you have, you know, he's the guy that also has the electric car that could drive without a person. What else does he have? Then he has the Neuralink. Okay, so my goodness, I can see why you all are pinning the tail on Elon in terms of pin the tail on the Antichrist. Ellen, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Ellen. Thank you, thank you. Well, it's an interesting topic, right? But I'm so glad to see you here. And thank you for that super chat. I appreciate it. So, um, Matt Taibbi, let me just go through this Substack that he has where he says Twitter is fun again. And that's what I was saying to you all. Twitter is fun again. He says, okay, an important story developed this weekend, unspooling in real time on Twitter over a Friday evening. Basically, billionaire Elon Musk gave a good friend of mine, the journalist Matt Taibbi, extensive access to Twitter's internal emails and communications and told Taibbi he could start sharing. What ensued was an epic takedown of Twitter, delivered on Twitter in what was ultimately a 41 tweet thread. It was parceled out as fast as Taibbi could post, side by side with readers commenting in real time, offering responses ranging from wow to this is garbage, claims that history was being made before our eyes, countered by sarcastic gifs of a sesame seed bun with no hamburger inside, and quite a few variations of the line, "This was fun. Twitter is fun again." So the Twitter files are beginning to flood out, right? I don't know if anything is going to happen in the immediate. What do you all think? I know that a lot of people are really freaking out with having Twitter in the hands of Elon Musk, because Elon opening up the Twitter for a more balanced discussion, it is also very, very important to keep also in the forefront that many child P, you know what I mean when I say child P, child prawn, I'll say prawn. A lot of child prawn is being taken down right now. So as Ye is, doing his thing, Paul Romano calls it, what does he say? What is the name he says? It's something like theater, but it's a certain kind of theater that when he looks at Ye, and probably you could throw in Elon, all of them, it looks like a certain kind of theater. Actually, to me, when I look at what's happening right now, it seems like a scripted WWF. And I wasn't into WWF, but I knew it was scripted. But it feels like that to me right now. I don't know how you all feel, but I feel like I'm watching WWF type of scripted reality. So a lot of people are freaking out, of course. The people that like to wear Balenciaga fashions, they don't like free speech, it looks like, right? So it's a weird thing how the people that love Balenciaga, they also don't want free speech on Twitter. And it's telling how many people are very quiet about the Balenciaga thing. So we have a lot of distractions going on, but it's very important that us, the people that we have already gone through the trauma of doing the research about what happens to children in our world. And this is why we are locked we're locked at the arms, all of us. It doesn't matter what color we are, what race, religion, creed, whatever. We do not want this to continue. What is happening to children? This is why a lot of us found each other. And we're never going to forget that. No matter how much we can talk about all these other things, it always comes back to what is happening to those that are vulnerable and don't have a voice, right? So we're always going to keep that center to everything because the children are suffering. They are suffering. And when we don't speak up, those who have the influence, it's showing us that everything that the conspiracy theorists were saying back in 2016, remember when the pizzas started to become a thing? And a lot of us started to learn. And the thing about it, nobody can tell us that we weren't there to see it with our own eyes. A lot of Instagram accounts were not made private back then. Remember, you could go on to, what's the guy from Media Matters? What was his name? You all can see, because I need to circle back to a lot of this stuff because I haven't been right at the, the names will not be as easy to recall. But the guy who headed up Media Matters, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the comment. Yeah, there you are. So a lot of us were right there. And we were learning in real time as this stuff was dropping. And we would go and do our own research. And I know that I went on to James Alefantis's Instagram. I remember a lot of you all saved the screenshots, but James Alefantis, and I believe it was his boyfriend who headed up Media Matters, and then you had Lynn Rothschilds, all of these names were really in the forefront, right? We were looking at the issues in Haiti, right? We were looking at the issues around Epstein Island, and we were looking at just period, what is happening in the child, CPS, and we were traumatized, weren't we? We were absolutely traumatized because what we learned about this world, it is hard to ever go back to sleep again after you learn the very difficult truth about what is happening in our world to children. And it's the children that they are after, period. They are after the children. Let's be real clear about it. And it is a reflection on us that we would not protect children. And for those people that like to wear Balenciaga and you like the designers, the various design houses, what we're going to have to do is start to go into the history of fashion and what has it turned into? What is being done? And we need to expose these fashion brands. And because it's linked to modeling, and I used to be a model, so I know that I encountered some very dark invitations. I never wanted to go into modeling that deeply. So I stayed on the periphery. I was not a model that you've ever heard of, okay? So I was just staying in I worked a long day at a showroom. I did very little fashion runways. I was like a mannequin, like a literal mannequin. But when I did do shows and I went to, when you have to, what is it, try out, you go on a look see, they called it. So I would travel throughout Italy because I lived in Milan. And the things that I witnessed, I'll tell you this, when I lived in Italy, it was enough to just disturb anything in terms of show business, period, or wanting to have money and be around those kind of people with money. It will definitely wake you up to the fact that you have to do things. And if you're not willing to do things, and these things that you're going to have to do, they require you to betray your own heart, to betray your own soul. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to make money. And a lot of people will look down on you because you don't have money. Well, now we're looking at the other side, because people like Ye, he has been confirming a lot. Now, what his role really is up for debate. I don't know how you feel about him. I'm still sorting it out myself. But it is interesting. I want to get into his latest thing because, again, like I said, he's been deplatformed again off of Twitter because of a image that he posted. And I don't have a copy of it. I probably wouldn't even be interested in showing it. But okay, so here we are. This was also an interesting post that Elon made, where I told you he mentioned Antarctica. So this was, he replied to the Center for Oldest Ice, probably exploration. It says, despite 30-knot winds at the Allen Hills, Antarctica, where ice cores up to 2 million? No, 2,700,000 years old have been found at SpaceX. Okay, so they added him. No wonder he. Okay, so at SpaceX, Starlink continues to give the at NSF supported Coldex team unprecedented connectivity. So there we go. His Starlink is connecting the internet everywhere on the flat realm. I know I'm making people, I'm trolling. Okay. Okay. So it says Coldex team, unprecedented connectivity. So Elon mentions, wild that we can see what was frozen 2.7 million years ago. So I don't know about you all, but I do not buy into this millions. I'm not caught up in millions and millions of years ago kind of thing anymore. As I have shared with you all, the more I learn from Kev Gillespie, he's an amazing teacher, is that when I look at things and think about millions and millions of years ago, it gets me caught up in what he calls time immemorial. And for me, I can't get stuck in time immemorial anymore. So when I see things that say millions of years ago, I'm already checked out. This is me personally. But you all can have fun with the ice age and all this kind of stuff. I'll just be observing, okay? I'm staying in the 1800s and the 1900s. I'm just hanging out right there. I don't go past or beyond the 1800s, okay? That's just me again. But okay, so Ye posted on Instagram. It had to have been, wait a minute, hold it. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. And let me see what you all are saying. All about the 1800s, right? Joseph knows what I'm talking about. I could care less about millions of years ago. I'm just saying, that's just how I feel. You guys have fun with the millions of years ago. Okay, let me go to Ye's Instagram. I am following Ye. If you see me, I'm following him. Okay. All right. So this is what Ye posted. This was 23 hours ago. Oh my gosh. Okay, it says on Jay-Z's birthday, future president of the United States, Ye, uses Mark Zuckerberg's platform to incite a mass investigation of Elon Musk's childhood photos. In the midst of Balenciaga Gate, I call this the theory of everything, problem solved, praise God. Okay, and this is the post. He says, am I the only one who thinks Elon could be half Chinese? Have you ever seen his pics as a child? Take a Chinese genius and mate them with a South African supermodel, and we have an Elon. I say an Elon because they probably made 10 to 30 Elons, and he's the first genetic hybrid that stuck. Well, let's not forget about Obama. I'm sorry for using curse words in church, but I don't have another word for Obama yet. Yay 24. Let's unify and find out. Luafo. I have no idea what I just read, but he followed up with another. So was it Jay-Z's birthday yesterday? We'll go back to, I just want to leave the latest one also. Okay, so he put this one on Instagram 19 hours ago. He says, it was meant as a compliment, my friend. Now Obama, on the other hand, because Elon said, it's the bias. They shared Ye's Instagram on Twitter, the bias. So they say Kanye West says he believes Elon Musk is a half Chinese genetic hybrid. And Elon Musk tweeted back, I take that as a compliment. So what the heck? What the heck? I don't know what to say. But was it Jay-Z's birthday yesterday? Because this was okay. So he's saying that he's saying he is the future president of the United States. He's using Mark Zuckerberg's platform, which is Instagram, and he wants to incite a mass investigation of Elon Musk's childhood photos in the midst of Balenciaga Gate. Okay, so he's insinuating that Elon is a genetic hybrid and says that Jay-Z's birthday was yesterday. Okay, so, okay, right, Gemini? What is happening? Gemini, I don't know if you're on Twitter, but I guess he's going to have Instagram hopping until they get him on Instagram again, because Ye has been taken off of Instagram also a few times. He gets whatever. So he's saying that he believes there are 10 to 30 Elons, and he's the first genetic hybrid that's stuck. But he's also saying, let's not forget about Obama. So Obama was really the one that these two communications seem to be targeted really at Obama. So this was kind of out in left field, didn't expect it. So he's saying he doesn't have another word for Obama. So you all know that Obama, while he was in office, he called Ye, didn't he call him a fool or something? He called him some kind of name, I know. So, and it was when he took the microphone away from Taylor Swift and said, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. Remember, I'm gonna let you finish. Like, I'm telling you, it's just been one thing after another. I have a lot of theories about Kanye. He called him a jackass. Okay. Yeah, so he called him a jackass. Yes, girl code called him a fool, right? So yeah, so this is just it's so absurd to me. I don't know what to really make of it. But I wanted to see what you all thought about this. What do you think is happening? Like I say, it feels like WWF. It's so over the top at this point. So that's what I'm detecting. So Elon has created the Neuralink, and this is a chip that is all up to the individual. If they want to have this chip, it's supposed to promise to heal disease and things like that, right? Liz, I like that question. Who's zooming who? I love it. Oh my gosh. If I could play it right now, I would play it. Who's zooming who right now? That's what this disinformation feels like. This misdirection, and everything about it is just so absurd. But I like that. Who's zooming who? Because I feel like they're zooming us, okay? I don't like to be zoomed. And speaking of zooming, okay, here's a tweet, a couple of things I wanted to share. This is from Matt Wallace. This isn't funny, but it's like breaking. Elon Musk is considering putting together a team of medical experts to fact check all the false things government officials have been saying. So there is a lot that's happening that's very powerful, and I'm here for it. If this is the way that this stuff has to be exposed so it could come, like I said, above the surface. A lot of us, we've been below the surface talking about this stuff. A lot of us have disengaged because it just feels a certain way, like, like I told you, it felt like we were coasting along, but Elon and Kanye are in the driver's seat, it feels like. And they put the pedal to the metal, and we're going very fast. Or Elon, we're in a Tesla, and nobody's driving, huh? Nobody's in the driver's seat. We're in a Tesla right now. It just feels that way. A Tesla that's malfunctioning. Okay, so Financial Times has, I can't get it out. Financial Times has named Voldemort Zelensky the twerk if you work holler for $1 in your stilettos, they have named him Person of the Year. You can't make this stuff up. I don't care how high you are. You can't make this up. Zelensky, twerk for your work. This one here, if you're not aware of it, I won't bring it up, but this one is, he could twerk in stilettos. And that's why he keeps getting trillions of dollars from the United States. Somebody likes him over here. And somebody likes the twerking that he's done. He's the highest paid hoe. 304. This right here is the highest paid 304 I have ever heard of in my entire being. Okay. Isn't he? You sugar babies don't have nothing on Voldemort. They don't have nothing on Voldemort getting those. They are just, look, Biden and Kamala, they're just making it rain on Voldemort. So there you go. He can show you how to hoe. Hoes are winning when it comes to Voldemort. Okay, next up, I caught this stuff on the Twitter. So the Independent is saying that nurses must drop pay demands to send clear message to Putin. So they are trying to gaslight the nurses over in the UK by telling them that they should stop their demands for being paid because this will send a clear message to Putin. It's amazing. It is amazing the amount of lies, bold-faced lies. It's unbelievable. And then, I know you all have heard about this. Germany, yes, Germany. Do we ever have anybody that joins us from Germany in the chatmosphere? I know we talk about you all a lot, Germany, but we realize you are here in America. So when we say Germany, we just are saying America. We know that you guys came over here and infiltrated. We know the Operation Paperclip. We know. So yes, Guten Tag. That's right. So Germany, they now have euthanasia clinics. But not just that. When you talk about jumping the shark on the ridiculousness, the German euthanasia clinics require a COVID jab for patients seeking assisted suicide. You cannot make this up. And this is really, it's crazy making. I know it's crazy making. And I want to talk about that very thing that, we have hit another level of absurdity, right? And we're getting to see that the plan is going along at a certain pace. I know people would like it to go faster. Justice happens in a certain rhythm. I believe that the evil that we're seeing, evil prior to 2020 could keep a certain, image. Evil, the ones that practice evil, they were able to keep like an image of being very well put together. And they were able to hide their warts. They were able to hide their monkeypox, right? Did you all see the picture of monkeypox that, I don't know, I think it's photoshopped. If it was on Twitter, of Paul Pelosi, okay? Somebody posted a picture of Paul Pelosi out with what's her name, Nancy, and they showed somebody like they enlarged it, and it's like monkeypox on his face and stuff. But you could tell that it was Photoshop. I believe it's photoshopped, but you know, it's just, we're living in a time now where when you do see things, you really don't know if it's a parody, if it is photoshopped, right? You just don't know what's real sometimes, because we've hit a different level of exposure. So at this time, we're being reminded of the children. And Kim Kardashian is front and center. This is a woman who wanted to be famous at any cost. Now, that's a very powerful thing, to want to be famous at any cost. And we have to really think about that. Any cost. So being that she is willing, has been willing to do things that violate her as a woman. And this is a family business. So her mother, her own mother, has basically pimped her out. And it's no nicer way to say it. Her own mother pimped her out. And that's a strong thing to say. But it's what has happened. And the disclosure that has happened around Kim Kardashian is that her fame came from her laying on her back and her mother selling and brokering a sex tape. And Kanye, or Ye, he factors in, because this is his ex-wife and the mother of his children. So Kim has become the face of Balenciaga. And Balenciaga, if you are behind, Christine, don't worry. Balenciaga, I won't show the disturbing images, but I will say that the current Balenciaga scandal is vindicating anyone that spoke about Pizzagate. So if you were studying what was happening to children, if you were looking like crazy conspiracy theorists because you were looking at the very weird coincidences with the Wayfair furniture, Ellen, Tom Hanks, right? We can do a whole review from 2020, but we won't for the sake of time. But if you were following the trail, Hillary and Bill Clinton and Haiti, Amber Alert woman, children, Disney cruise, Epstein Island flight list. If you were following this stuff and you were losing sleep and being traumatized by learning this very inconvenient truth, this is the moment of vindication. because this Balenciaga thing is not going away. It's not. The internet has become more powerful. Groups of people that work together as investigative teams and investigative journalists, citizen journalists, they have already cracked crimes. Okay? They have cracked the crime of Kevin Samuels, right? You all know Kevin Samuels, the YouTuber, and the weird circumstances behind his death. You have YouTubers that have cracked the crimes of all these rappers that are being murdered. I don't know all their names, but they're stage names. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of them. You have Takeoff. Takeoff was recent. And Kanye, or Ye, has confirmed that the industry sacrifices people. That's not crazy conspiracy anymore. He has even said that his own mother was sacrificed. So that's a pretty powerful thing. When he was doing that level of exposure, he had everyone's attention. And I know that he was going to become, I knew he was going to become an enemy to the ones that are part of the circle. And they came out like clockwork to attack him. And we know what has happened to his money and his opportunities and things like that. But this here, Balenciaga issue, it's taken the lid off of what is happening to children. And the enemy of humanity ultimately is after children. And Kim Kardashian has had relationships with many men in the industry. And Ray J, who she made the sex tape with, Ray J had said in an interview that something to the effect that Kim Kardashian is everything that is wrong in our culture. Like, she embodies it, in his opinion. And that's a strong thing to say. He's had a lot of bad dealings with her. So he has, personal issues with her and her mother. And this aspect of fame and being a part of, basically, this is a form of sex trafficking, pornography, and it leads into dark, dark places. Kim has been linked to Maria Abramovic, as well as another woman that you all may know the name of this other woman. But she is a woman who, she's older, probably in her 60s, and she wears like heavy jewelry, the salt and pepper hair, and she's very well known in Hollywood as being a practicing witch, like a really high level practicing witch. I can't think of her name right now, but Kim Kardashian has been linked to this woman. And this woman she has an even darker look than even Maria Abramovic. And that's saying a lot. I have forgotten her name. I didn't know much about her, but I came across her not too long ago. And they say that she is like one of these very high level witches. And I guess she's somebody that she's a mentor to younger people. So Kim Kardashian, I've seen her in pictures with this woman. If anybody, I want to know her name too, Phyllis. It's going to come to me. I have it somewhere. You know how I write a lot of notes? I have to, if anybody thinks of who I'm talking about, I tried to look her up earlier, but I didn't remember her name enough to find her. And besides, it's probably not as easy to find some people as they have been exposed. It's not as easy to find them. But Twitter, like I say, Twitter is beginning to address the outward child abuse and the sale of the imagery. That was happening in the open on Twitter. Many people have been fighting. There's a woman who fights this, and she's just been such a warrior. And she is very active right now on Twitter, and she's definitely letting Elon know that it is greatly appreciated what he is doing. Just in the first few days of him taking Twitter over, a lot of child abuse has been removed. And people have been freaking out. So it shows you, what are they really freaking out about? Is it free speech, or is it their source of entertainment is being removed, and they are being removed? So let's see what is happening. Disclosed TV. This is new. Liz Cheney, Ron DeSantis, and Elon Musk are among the finalists for Time Person of the Year 2022. Who do you think is going to win? Liz Cheney? Are you serious? I can see Ron DeSantis and Elon Musk. It would be funny if Ye was in there too. He's definitely been a person of note, right? Ye has been. I don't see anything about these Twitter drops. I thought that I would be sharing the Twitter drops. So is that her name? Mother of Messages. How you doing? Wait, that might be her. Wait a minute. Hold it, everybody. Let me do a quick search. You might be onto what it is, the name. Let me look real quick. Michelle Lammy. All right, let's see. Oh my God, you're right. Oh my goodness. Do you guys want me to pull her up? Oh gosh, you are absolutely right. Thank you, Mother of Messages. You came all the way through. This person right here, you all, this name right here, if you pull that person up, be ready, because like I said, I believe she gives me a worse vibe than Marina Abramovic. They say she is a French culture and fashion figure. She has been a clothing designer, performer, film producer, and restaurateur. Oh no, thank you. I don't want anything from any restaurant of hers. Whoa. She has a life partner, Rick Owens. She is co-founder and partner of Owens Corp and functions. She does art and furniture. Whoa. I'm pretty sure this is the person. I read something about her being like, they said she is, like really connected in that way. I'm pretty sure this is the person. Scary. Very dark. Very, very dark. Oh my goodness. So yeah, these people have such a dark quality. And yeah, so the fashion world is a very dark place. Oh no, is that I don't know if she's the founder, but I've heard of the restaurant you're talking about. I think it's somebody else, some other, it's like a group of sisters that are part of that restaurant that's in Southern California. Okay, so back to Kim Kardashian. Now, Kim Kardashian, what's interesting is that when Kim Kardashian was going through a breakup of her last boyfriend, what's his name? There's a YouTuber that calls him Crunchy Socks. Crunchy Socks, what's his name? The guy she just broke up with. He's not funny. He looks kind of like he's a comedian, but I don't get the humor. But she was just with him from like New York. I don't know why I can't think of his name. These new celebrities, they don't have a star quality anymore. It's just they don't have that thing any Pete Davidson. Okay, so Pete Davidson, after Kim went through that relationship, they were already planting stories about who is going to be her next boyfriend. And you're thinking, hey, lady, why don't you let that thing cool off? Okay. Can you give it a break for just maybe a couple of months? Okay. And no, they just jump into the next relationship or either plant stories of just relationship to relationship, right? So they were trying to say that she was interested in dating Elon Musk. Do you all remember that when she was trying to get the attention of Elon Musk? According to the stories, you don't know if it's really true, but it would be a weird thing to have her begin to date Elon Musk in this sort of clown world reality. So that would be interesting. You don't think any of them are you? I don't know. I'm open to thinking of whatever is possible. I know they've done a lot of things with science, but that whole issue of what is human, what makes us human, right, is a discussion that we could have. But back to this Kim Kardashian thing and her being at the center of this Balenciaga revealing, because the Balenciaga thing is so dark and it leads into some other things. Now, I've had one account or two, three actually, taken down. I've had an Instagram account taken down, and I used to have a lot of information when it comes to this kind of stuff, from 2020 and beyond. But I still have a lot of this stuff on Facebook. And occasionally somebody might come across it and comment. And you know how that is. It brings an old post back up to current, like you can see it. And lately, people have been going back to like some old Oprah things that I posted about Oprah and when she shut down her magazine and things like that. So it looks like people are starting to go back into the vaults, we could say, the vaults of information. And they are beginning to look into some of these things. Oh, wait a minute, this Pizzagate, is it real? Was my cousin crazy, or was something really going on? Because the Balenciaga gate, that's what they're calling it, Balenciaga gate, is far bigger when people start to really look into it. It is very disturbing. Like myself, I didn't get into the minutia of Balenciaga because I already went down those rabbit holes. And like I said, it's so traumatizing to learn what is happening to children. And for people that are just catching up with this information, I want us to be open to new people who come across this stuff. And if they have questions, we could help them. We could point them in the direction of some of those documentaries that helped us to understand. But I think it would be hard for me to get into the minutia of it all. I don't know about you all. I don't know. It's just I'm in a different place. The children are at the just utmost of importance. But when it comes to getting into the details, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, everyone. It's just it's something. It really does take a lot out of you. But we cannot forget these children. And the silence right now from the Hollywood types, the silence from the activist, it is very revealing. The silence. Now, I had an old post that dealt with Salma Hayek, the actress Salma Hayek. Her name is coming up because her husband, he's somehow factoring into this very dark and disturbing aspect of our culture surrounding children. It's some very, very disturbing artwork and whatever, like dolls or something, very disturbing. And I had a picture of Salma Hayek that I posted on Facebook, and it was just shocking. So now things are starting to connect more. And again, this is about protecting children. It always has been. Now, Kim Kardashian has been seen in what they call this S&M type of fashion. So bondage wear has become fashionable. And the disturbing thing about bondage wear, now Kim is an adult woman. So if she wants to be seen in bondage wear, it's her. She's grown. Now the problem is when we see her daughter on a red carpet or whatever in a GIMP mask. And this GIMP mask stuff, a lot of people didn't even know what is a GIMP mask. So we're learning things, and the problem is that children are being exposed to this. We have school systems that are teaching children these type of things, and they want this to be normalized. So for Kim Kardashian to have her young child in a GIMP mask for a fashion week over in Paris. And I don't care that it was over in Paris, and I know they have different ages of consent, but I think that age of consent has nothing to do with the appropriateness of how children should be portrayed. And there's something wrong with having a 9-year-old in a GIMP mask. It's wrong. So now what's happening, like I said earlier, is we're at this place where the evil has been unmasked. And for those of us that have been saying that it's about protecting children, I guess they're starting to see maybe they were right. This is about protecting children. And we have to be honest about the protections of children. And the protections of children begin in the womb. Period. It begins in the womb. We have to protect them there. Because this is a reflection of a culture that has we don't protect children. The most vulnerable. So this has now come to a place where it's right there in our face. We are being faced with our dereliction of duty towards the vulnerable among us. This has been a dereliction. And now these evil doers are just flaunting their wickedness in front of our faces. They're flaunting it now. So one of the things that I wanted to also say is that while we are witnessing this unmasking of these dark individuals and, the learning of the things that they have been doing, what they practice, what they believe, what they want to normalize, we have to avoid being black-pilled. You've heard the term black-pilled. And it's absurd, of course. A lot of it is funny. It's theater and performance theater. That's what Paul Romano calls performance theater. A lot of it does feel performative. But I believe also, as I look at a lot of these people that have sold, as they say, their souls. I don't know if you could sell your soul, really. But we're getting to see that they got a very bad deal. In fact, Kanye, formerly known as Kanye, he put that in a rap, that he sold his soul and he got a crappy deal. And he said it was like a Happy Meal. Gemini says, what's black pill? Black pilled is like when people just kind of give up hope that justice will ever be served against the evil ones. And they just kind of become cynical and, give up. So it's very important that we don't allow ourselves to become black pilled. Oh my goodness, Sabah, how are you? Welcome. I love to see you here. I missed you. I think selling the soul is signing contracts you don't fully understand. Thank you for saying that. Absolutely. Selling your soul can be likened to these contracts. And that's what we've been really dealing with in a lot of ways. That it's been about treaties and contracts and a lot of things. And it has we haven't understood, we haven't honored the contract, nor ourselves, because we haven't fully understood. We haven't fully understood. We haven't studied the contracts, understood the details, and what it is that we have signed on to. That goes for anything. If you get anything from this government, you are basically in contract with them. So we have to understand what we are doing. And like Girl Code, and we talk about this, right? Girl Code, we talk about this a lot. Even when we use federal funded programs, you are agreeing to things, and you are going into a contract with a government that they don't care about us. They don't see us the way that we see us. So we have to understand that what we're looking at with these entertainers like Ye, he's tired. It looks like he's tired of the deals he's made. I don't know if he can get out of them. I do believe that there is hope for everyone. I do believe that. I don't have the answers as to what is beyond, the line. That's between a person and God. That is between them to know how far they've gone. But it is a wake-up call to all of us. And this is one of those things that, what else are you saying, sis? You need to understand the language of contracts or legalese. We have to stop putting our fate in the hands of others. There you are. That's your responsibility as a member of society. Thank you for saying that, because Girl Code, didn't you just say that? Let me go back to a note, because when I talk to Girl Code, I get my notes out. I am taking notes. But there is something I want to share in regarding to what our good sister is saying there. Right, Juan? Juan says, yes, legalese. And that's one of the things I learned when I'm listening to Kev Gillespie, Coffee and Kush. He talks about the law and having books that help you understand the words that are being used. The 1828 law, Noah's dictionary, right? Then the Black's Law Dictionary, things like that. Now, something that Girl Code and I were talking about, and I wrote this down, is taking more responsibility for what happened to us. And I liken that to, okay, a lot of people have had group traumas, right? You have currently in the conversations, people are talking about the Holocaust. Then you have people that are Holocaust deniers, or people that question the narrative. They want to know, did it happen the way we were told? Because at this time, everybody is questioning history. So no one's history gets to just stay as it is. Nobody has that power anymore to say, this is the narrative, this is how it happened, you can't question it, that's it. We have all come to a place, a lot of us, where we do not trust the narrative, right? Sean says, yes, Black's Law is your best friend. There you are. T. Whitten, etymology, my favorite subject. There you are. So for us to say that everything can be put on the table to reconsider and to reanalyze, research. So that's every narrative. So I come from a group, of course, that has the slave narrative, the out of Africa narrative. the slave ships and the plantation, the picking the cotton and all this stuff, only to find out that it wasn't the way that they said it was. Now, I can now see that our nation was taken over. A coup happened. A confederation of nations came together. They worked together in league, dominion, legions. Look at the United Nations on our soil. So a United Nations of a confederate came together and they usurped us. And they did guerrilla warfare, very violent. There was an American Holocaust on this soil. A lot of the heroes that we think were heroes, they were not. People that were like, oh my goodness, you would never question them being a hero. People like, what is her name? The one that did the why am I forgetting her? Good gracious, who saved the slaves, took them through the what is it? The Underground Railroad. The Money Honey, hey, welcome. Oh, it's so nice to see you when you come by. Yes. So what's her name? The lady that did the Underground Railroad. That's terrible. Look at me. There you are. Harriet Tubman. Thank you, Juan. I should be ashamed. Harriet Tubman. So even people like Harriet Tubman, let me tell you, it was Ye who even said something about Harriet Tubman not being who we thought she was and having not done what we thought she did. Okay? I'm okay with that. But prior to maybe 2020, she was a sacred cow. You couldn't say anything bad about Harriet Tubman. I was programmed to look at her as like a saint, you know? And then you have even, you have a lot of them besides Harriet Tubman. Everybody, Frederick Douglass, everybody can get that smoke now. I'm not going to just believe things anymore, especially the people that they have put in front of us as our heroes. That should be always questioned. If they are telling you who your heroes are, you have Marcus Garvey. You have a lot of people that now I'm like, okay, I don't know. But Ye told us, Kanye, remember he said, Harriet Tubman did not free the slaves. She just encouraged people to go from one form of slavery to another form up north in the factories. So she was brokering labor. And that's what, you know, when you look back into the 1800s, early 1900s, a lot of this stuff has to do with labor and the abuse of labor and contracts and the stealing of resources and the like guerrilla warfare, the violence, the threats, the horrible things like the bombing of cities. So it would the same stuff that they do now. Think about when we were talking about the election and all of the suppression that was going on, the violence against people. People were coming out and telling their stories like they were working with the Democrats and they were being threatened if they told about what was happening during the election, right? I had a friend that showed me a friend's Facebook where he was like, how did they call the election? Because I got all these ballots in my office. And I took a screenshot, y'all. I didn't turn them in, but I have it on my phone. I'm not a snitch, okay? He was talking about he had ballots in his office. He was like, how did they count everything? So people were telling, okay, You can't keep secrets among people. Come on. You know people don't keep secrets. So we were hearing about all of the cheating, but what happens is because we see Jojo Magoo and Kamala, and people have lost faith in justice because they're like, look, these people are like, you know, in the White House, and it seems like nothing happens to them. These Twitter files, okay, the first files deal with the laptop Hunter Biden, and some people feel like, well, nothing will happen because people right now, they don't have a taste for and a palate for truth. A lot of people in our culture, where they are residing in an echo chamber that no matter what is presented about Joe Biden and Hunter, their automatic response is, well, what about Trump? What about his children? What about his tax returns? What about January 6th? What about this? They go straight to, what about Trump? It was Russian. It doesn't matter. If they are shown the truth, it won't matter. And this is a part of where we are, the criminality and the anti-law, anti-Christ. I know we were talking about anti-Christ, and some people do believe that anti-Christ is one person that's going to rise and all this stuff that I told you I was really into all that. I studied, and he's going to come into the temple and he's going to tell everybody they got to, and then it's going to be a cow and they're going to sacrifice the cow and they got the Temple Mount and all. I don't know anymore about those narratives happening like I thought they were going to happen, and the rapture, raptured away. But I don't feel that the Antichrist, me personally, is just one person. I believe it's a spirit. And we've had various antichrists. Anything that is against Christ and his kingdom is antichrist. And currently, the spirit of Antichrist is what we are witnessing. The spirit of Antichrist is here. It's been here. And it's up to us right now, like what I said when I was talking to Girl Code, taking more responsibility to what happened to us. Hey, Asteria, you are a new name here. Welcome. Let's give some love to Asteria, starry one. Yes, it's an energy. Okay. So expecting this one person to come on the scene, I believe that's a form of misdirection for me personally. I don't see it that way anymore. So I also feel that taking responsibility is the way out. Yes, I could continue to look at what's happened to my people, but at the same time, I have to look at what happened. This can't just happen to people, to a group. Something had to have happened prior to this. And this is the responsibility part of it all. What did my group do to fall so far from glory? Because you can look, like I showed you pictures of the Negro, the original American, and you can look at the 1800s and look at the clothes and the regalness. I can show you pictures of my family just from the 1900s, and you would think you're looking at royalty. That was the norm. It was the norm. They made their own clothing, and the clothing was like couture clothing. Balenciaga is garbage. All of that is garbage compared to what our relatives wore. The details. I told you I've worn couture clothes when I lived in Europe. I can appreciate how things are made from the inside of the garment. Well, that's how people in my family, seamstresses, knew how to make clothing. And we lost all of this. Why are we going to designers outside of our group, our culture? Why are we adopting the culture of others? Why do we have to look at Louis Vuitton and all of these other labels and give them so much just influence? Why don't we go to the tailor and the seamstress in our community and support them? We wouldn't have all these designers in this fashion and the way that they've perverted our culture through the fashion. Look at Kim Kardashian looking like a complete moron. She is such a sucker for fame and fortune. But at what cost? She looks like a big dummy in this outfit. Like a big dummy. She will do anything. And then to have her daughter dressed in a GIMP mask. And she has no shame. There's no shame. So whatever is happening, people are threatening to call the authorities to look into the parenting of anybody who would have their child in a GIMP mask. But what will happen? You know, she's got money and influence. But that's something that should be looked into, because if it was anybody else and you had your kid in a GIMP mask, you would have to be investigated. Thank you, Juan. Hey, Juan, thank you so much. We shared our powers. It was used to destroy us. There you are. Amen. And you know, we traded our birthright for government to come and be our nanny. We don't need a nanny. When you grow up, first of all, growing up does take responsibility, that we have to say, I bear some fault in my fall. We as a group bear some fault in our fall. And we entrusted the wrong people. They violated our trust. We can't let that happen again. We have to learn. And part of taking responsibility for our fall is realizing that there's no way out of this outside of God. Not for America. Now, I can't speak for other countries. They may have like a plethora of gods. But here in America, we have the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God of Israel. That's our God. Make no mistake about it. And the only way out of this is to repatriate. Now, we have people that have been adopted and grafted in, and we are all one family. It doesn't matter. You don't treat an adopted child any different in the family of God. So we have to repatriate. Those of us that are of the organic seed, we have to set a standard for all to follow, to be the light on the hill. That is why you all should want us to wake up. You should be celebrating that we are waking up. Because once we wake up, guess what? We all will heal because we fell. We fell and we brought the world along. We brought you all along. It is our responsibility. We bear a responsibility. To whom much is given, much more is required. So as we begin to stand up again in law, do not envy us. You see how far we fell down? We have become a hissing to the world. We are hated. We are hated. We have fallen very far. So just know that when we bear our responsibility and repatriate, that's a day of rejoicing. And no, we do not want to repay anybody for what happened. This was our fault. And when we take the responsibility, we don't want revenge. We don't want to enslave anyone. That's not what we want. We want the world to heal. We want to be living in the vibration of the kingdom. We want common law to reign. We want prosperity for everyone. And that is why this is very important that we all bear responsibility. It goes for both. Because really all we do is play a black and white game, right? You know when Michael Jackson said, "Don't black or white me"? We have got to reclassify ourselves. That's the black and the white. We have to get a true classification and become lawful in God's law. And Nancy said we have to repent. Yes, we do. We have to repent. This is not just going to come because, we just say it's going to happen. This is tied. This American awakening truly is tied to the law of God. And the whole world will be blessed. That's why they look at America. We set the culture. And we have given the world nothing but degradation. We have degraded the world. We have exported nothing but trash culture. We don't do music anymore that has a frequency of love like we used to. The Philadelphia sound. How about that? We play that music. No, the frequency, and I was recently doing a little road trip and I was listening to the baby, you guys. I was listening to the baby. I couldn't believe it. It was keeping me awake though, because I had to drive at night. And I was so ashamed of myself. I was rocking out to the baby. Trash, complete trash. But it kept me awake, okay? Every now and then I do take in a little bit of that crap. But I'm just saying that the vastness of our fall is being made manifest to our understanding. And the grieving is also very specific. Like we're grieving, knowing that we fell this far. And our awakening as the people of the original organic America is happening. There is a remnant that is awakening. And we're going to get it right, you all, because let's see, I said our fall was so great. The crafty counsel that we fell for is all in the Bible, everyone. But we will break these generational curses and end the cycle of enslavement. And it's repatriation to be restored again to the land, to the promise. The first will be last, and the last will be first. And this will be televised, everybody. And the world will know. So just keep praying for us, because this is big. Whoa. You know, I studied, like I said, that eschatology, but I just had no idea that it was going to all happen this way. I just didn't know. So, you know, I'm keeping my ears to the ground, listening out. Now, I don't know when Twitter drops, what's it called? The Twitter files will drop the newest ones. Let's see if I missed any. I'm just looking on the Twitter, but I'll keep you posted. They said it was going to happen at noon today. More drops. But oh, B Wolf is saying, let's get that horrible imagery. I'm sorry, B Wolf. I had it on there too long. But let's go back to Elon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Elon, everyone. I just don't know. I have my theories, but I don't believe in all this space stuff anymore. I don't, you know, the planets and the stuff that goes on. I got a lot of understanding from reading the Book of Enoch and the Ethiopian Bible. I'm beginning to understand what the planets and the star system is really all about. But I don't believe in the stuff I used to. So just allow me that right now. I am staying grounded to the earth. And it's about the land for me. It's about agriculture. It's about all of that kind of stuff. And I am about the solution of having food security and also having a well of water. So you have the things that you need. You don't need to rely on a Nazi company, Monsanto. You don't need to rely on an enemy to provide your food. So that's where my heart is. That's why I have to stay right here grounded to the earth. And I can't be worried about what's happening on Mars. So if Elon wants to head on over to Mars, then Godspeed, have fun. I'll be right here, okay? And one thing I noticed, I was up in Atlanta, is so many Teslas on the road up in Atlanta. They love Teslas up there. Do you all see a lot of Teslas on the road where you are? Let me know. Oh, by the way, speaking of agriculture, you all have to see my bulbs before I stop the stream. I've been talking 2 hours. Look at that. 1 minute. Wait a minute. Let me show you my bulbs. Well, one of them. Oh boy. Look at this, everyone. It's happening fast. Wait a minute. Let me get a better look at it already. Look at how fast it's happened. So I'm having indoor flowers and already amaryllis. So what do you think? So while Elon is going up to Mars, I'll be doing more of this, okay? Growing things. Thank you, everybody. Yes, amaryllis, PH Joy. So if you followed when I first started with my bulbs, you will see that all of this growth has happened in a short period of time. And I sing to my Amaryllis, don't I? I sing Salem's King, right? Remember that song? I'm going to sing it to you all one day. I just have to practice it, okay? The one that was the favorite song of George Washington of Washington State, Centralia, Washington. Salem's Bright King, right? So I sing to my Amaryllis. And I guess they're liking it. But thank you so much, little Amaryllis. It's going to be a pretty one, too. So I have a whole lot more. I'll keep you posted on their blooming. You sing to your plants, PH Joy, in the garden? Yes, I will sing to you all soon. I just have to practice my words, my lyrics. But anyway, I will keep you posted on anything, any tweets. Have I missed anything? Let me put my friend over here for a minute. All right. Love you too, sunny day. Let's see if Kanye has done anything. What have you done? Oh, no. Yay. Anything new? Oh, my goodness. I guess no. Just the latest thing. So, Ye is saying that Elon, it's about 10 of them. I don't know. It has yet to be seen. The jury is out. Is it 10 Elons? Is he really going to Mars? What's going? They're colonizing Mars. Do we care? Let me know. We're going to cancel a lot of the fashions. We don't need them. We just need people to learn skills. We need local tailors and seamstresses. We don't want Balenciagas. We don't want people that put children in GIMP masks. That's not what we do. We're not those kind of people. Okay? It's not okay. We are restoring sanity according to God's law. The Masons are going to Mars, Dana says. Well, they can go. Bye-bye. Have fun. So until next time, I'll be checking out what's happening. Let's see. Sean says the Mars pics are fake. They're fake as F. I believe that too. If I've missed your comments, thank you though. DeWolf is here. Hey, and Shawnee. Hey, Shawnee. Welcome. Phyllis says that's why my plants are dead. You're singing to your plants, me. No, don't say that. Thank you, Girl Code. Thank you all for joining. Oh, you know what? I wanted to bring up something. Does anybody remember when we were listening to the Twitter Spaces and Elon was talking? I meant to write it down. That's when I took the spoon out. He was talking about the Neuralink chip. I was like, oh, no. But when someone asked Elon why he decided to buy Twitter, does somebody remember that answer he gave? He said something like, well, he checked in with it was like his Neuralink. And he said that it didn't sound like an answer that an organic human would say. Who remembers that? Do you remember that answer? Herschel Sanders says, I always wanted to do women's hair. That would be great to learn. Bye, Juan. Thanks for hanging out. You can still learn, Herschel. That would be great. Sabe says, not a fan of brands, but it's something in between the lines of Balenciaga is suing for those images. To us, it looks like games are being, yeah, they are playing games. They definitely are. But, they have lost the narrative because we're not going to accept this. So let's see. Girl cuz said Herschel could wash my hair. That's right, Herschel. You could practice on my hair too. So what did Elon say? Does anybody remember what he said? It was it was a long drawn out answer, Teresita says. Hey Teresita, it was a weird answer. I need to go back and listen to it. But I think he repeated it, didn't he? It was like he answered like he had to check his neural link. And his neural link let him know that he had to buy Twitter to help humanity. So it was just interesting. I'll go back and find out what he said. Just very weird. All right, everybody. I will stay on here forever. I have too much fun with you all, but I love you and I will see you very soon, okay? Take good care until next time. Bye-bye.